In this module, we're going to look at maintaining the Windows 10 operating system. This is going to be in regards to updates as well as performance monitoring and optimization, just troubleshooting the system when necessary to make sure that it continues to operate in the most efficient fashion. As efficient as we can keep Windows, that's going to have a direct effect on the productivity of the users who are utilizing the operating system on a daily basis. So for that reason, it really is a big part of the IT professional, who's working on Windows 10. So we'll start here with updating Windows 10. Windows updates are a part of, just the ongoing process of utilizing Windows. Windows Update itself is a service that provides critical updates both for the Windows operating system as well as running applications, at least Microsoft applications, and also includes device drivers and things of that nature. These updates are going to come in different categories. Hot fixes are released on demand. They're not tested quite as thoroughly as other things like a service pack or something, or an additional release of Windows 10 in the future. But they do address a particular need. It's usually an error in code that is security related or would cause stability issues with the operating system. You've got then critical security patches, which are always related to security. Those should be installed immediately because they often are addressing a vulnerability that's been found in the code of the OS or in the code of a particular application. If you don't patch the vulnerability, then it's going to make you more vulnerable. In fact, the vast majority of malware out there targets vulnerabilities in the system when, if patched, they would not be as effective or completely ineffective. So are Windows updates as important as anti-malware? You could maybe debate that and say they're not, but let's just say that they're pretty important and they're pretty close. And so it is very critical that we have this process happening. Operating system updates as well. Now this in Windows 10 is going to include future releases. We talked about the possibility of 10.1, 10.2, and who knows when those are going to come out, but Microsoft is going to continue to work on this operating system, at least that's what they've said, and to enhance it, and so we will receive those kinds of updates as well. Also patches to applications. Those could be security related. They could just be stability related. And the concept of service packs has always been there. Jury's still out here on this. I don't know and haven't found anything to tell me that there won't be service packs for Windows 10. But they may change the terminology and we may be just talking about upcoming releases, where they're not working on a future version of the operating system. So instead of Windows 10 Service Pack 1, it becomes 10.1, So the terminology may change. The concept is still going to be the same. Those releases that come out, formerly known as service packs, are going to include all of the security patches and hot fixes, all of the application fixes from prior to the service pack, and they're going to include feature updates for the operating system itself. The automatic updates client is installed by default on Windows 10, and that's going to ensure the application of updates in a timely manner. The management of updates has changed a bit. This has been completely moved out of Control Panel and now into the Settings app. In the Settings app, you'll find it in the Update and Security section. And there are a few options that you've got there. The default is that you're going to automatically download and automatically install those updates as soon as they are available. You can change that to notify you for a scheduled restart. And that's just if you want to be in more control of the reboot process as a result of the updates. We can go in and view some advanced options and get some other things. One of those is going to be to view the history of updates, which updates have been installed on the system, as well as potentially removing problematic updates, or even if you join the Insider Preview, removing the latest preview that might have been installed. Enterprise environments have typically used GPOs to configure options, and that's just because we can have consistency across multiple systems. The automatic updates options in a GPO are to install them automatically, to download updates and choose when to install, to just check for updates and notify for install, or to never check for updates. Typically, we're going to choose either the first or the second option. because it makes sure that updates are downloaded immediately. If you want to schedule them for the install, okay, but ideally it's immediate and it's an automatic install. The other setting that's very critical is the intranet update service location. This allows an organization to set up what's called a WSUS server, Windows Server Update Services, which essentially turns a Windows server, 2008 or later, into a Windows Update server. And so that server would then download the updates from Microsoft, from the internet, and then make them available to client computers. So the clients would not communicate with Windows Update, they would communicate with the update server. This is potentially an area of change again. I mean, Windows Update and the whole process is sort of undergoing an overhaul. It may actually not be necessary for organizations anymore to maintain a WSUS server. However, I can see them still doing it. I mean, I know many organizations that have set this infrastructure up that like the control that it provides, so it's still a valid option. We'll see with the way that Windows 10 is handling updates and the future releases of the operating system, whether it continues to be that way. There's some power management options. In GPOs, do you want to wake up the PC to apply updates, restart options, notification options? And so, as I said, in a domain environment, we want consistency. So rather than configuring this stuff on each individual computer, you'll see it configured in a domain-based GPO. So let's take a look at the update settings. If you just search for updates, then it's you can view the installed updates in Control Panel. But that's about it. I mean, it's just, that's the only thing that is still there would be the history of updates. Otherwise, when you get into programs and features, there's nothing. In system and security, there's no updates. If you search for updates in here, it's just that. That's the only thing. So if you're hunting in Control Panel, stop looking there. It's no longer there. You're going to find it over in the settings. Okay, so settings, and then we're in the update and security area. And we go into Windows Update. Once this refreshes, it's just going to tell me these are the updates that are available. You can hit details and see what those updates are, or get a little bit more information about them. You can go ahead and download them. Okay, it's prompting me for that because I'm an administrator. When we click on Advanced, choose how updates are installed. They are going to be automatic by default. You can specify to notify to schedule a restart about finishing them. Okay, so it just depends on the way you want to do it. Do you want updates for other Microsoft products? Do you want to defer upgrades? This is in relation to the releases, the new releases. And so if you want to defer those, you can. You can view update history. This will show me the list of updates. So some of these are malicious software. We've got definition updates for Defender. I've got a driver update for my, looks like sound card for my video card. So lots of stuff in here. And if there was something that failed to install, we can see that. You can click on it and it'll give you a little bit more information in regards to that. You can also uninstall updates if you want. Now, not every update is going to be able to be uninstalled, so I have only got 6 here that can be uninstalled, and that's actually going to take me back to the control panel, area. Click on Choose How Updates Are Delivered. Updates from more than one place. We can get updates from Microsoft, and we can get updates from and send updates to PCs on my local network, PCs on the internet. That if turned on, essentially is just used to speed up apps and updates. Now that'll all be negated if you're using WSUS. So let's go into our policy again. Okay, in the policy under computer config, administrative templates, Windows components, you go all the way down to Windows Update, you're going to see all the settings. Now this is just the local policy. We wouldn't be doing this here. But these settings are also going to be available in a GPO. Okay, so when you go to configure automatic updates and you enable this, then you've got the 4 options that I talked about. You've got the time of day that it's going to be done. Okay, You specify the intranet Microsoft Update Service location. This is going to allow you to plug in the address of a local WSUS server, if that was the name of the server, and then the same thing for statistics. So this is a good one to know about. The defer upgrade, now that's brand new in 10. It will, make sure that you're not going to receive upgrades automatically. Okay? Security updates aren't affected by this. This is just the operating system upgrades. And I can see some businesses wanting to do that. Don't connect to any Windows Update internet locations. That just forces them to go internally. And then you've got some that are allowing immediate installation versus restart options versus delayed restart, and on and on. Your power management stuff was up here, basically allowing it to wake up the computer to apply the update. So all of those are configured there. I do have the administrative tool for WSUS, Windows Server Update Services. I don't have a server to connect to, but you could connect to the server and download the updates. There's nothing really to see. I'd actually have to download all the updates in order to be able to do it, but the server itself can download the updates, and then we can go through a manual approval process or an automatic approval based on category of update. So as I said, many organizations already have that in place and will probably continue to use that and continue to use GPOs to make sure that these critical updates keep getting installed, because that's going to be at least one step in the right direction in making sure Windows 10 stays operating in an efficient and secure manner.